The federal NDP is now out with their platform. It includes big promises on health care with plans to expand national coverage as part of a comprehensive overhaul. Joining me now with a look at his party's platform is NDP Leader Jagmeet Singh. Mr. Leader, thank you for being here.
Honored to be here.
All right, platform contains a number of pledges.
Yep.
Let's talk about the first one, universal pharma care by 2020, and then other rollouts, including dental, eye care later on.
That's right.
But this is going to require commitments from the provinces, and currently, as it stands, you only have the NDP in place in BC. And then, you got a lot of opposition in other provinces, leading other provinces. So how can you make a promise like this that requires buy-ins from people that won't necessarily buy in?
Well, here's the thing. We're going to go to a province and say, for the exact same money that you're already spending to cover folks that are in hospital, because people in hospital get medication coverage, for people that are marginalized communities, because some already get coverage, we're going to say, for the exact same amount that you're currently spending, we can cover everyone in your province. We're also providing about $9 billion at the federal level so that we can match dollar for dollar to be able to make this plan a reality. We are confident that if I go to any premier in this country and say, for what you're spending right now, you only cover a small percentage of the population, we can cover everyone and make sure people who are struggling with the cost of medication get the medication they need. I can't see any premier saying no to that.
All right, let's talk opioids. You want to declare the opioid crisis a public health emergency. What would that mean? On a practical level, how does that change how we address it?
Well, with the public health emergency, you have new tools. So one of the things that we've seen is that harm reduction, safe injection sites where people are saving lives, those are now operating a little bit outside of the legal framework. Once you declare something a public health emergency, there's certain tools you have as something is an emergency, it needs to be responded with that same urgency. So that'll allow us to help the frontline care providers be within a legal framework, get them more funding, and save lives. On top of that, our next step is to end the criminalization and the stigma of drug addiction. People who are dealing with the opioid crisis are often people who are poor, who are having mental health issues, or who are addicted. Addiction should not be solved with the criminal justice system. It should be solved with healthcare, with rehabilitation, support services. If we want to save lives, we have to do things differently.
Your plan calls for additional taxes on the wealthy as well as increases in corporate taxes. What's your plan then to deal with the inevitable exodus of people, high net worth individuals, as well as corporate offices that are going to leave here in search of more tax advantageous situations, or people who are going to go full on into tax avoidance in an effort to save themselves some money?
I believe Canada is a beautiful place to live, a beautiful place to grow, and a beautiful place to do business. And the evidence is that when a company sets up, they don't look at just the taxes. They look at the entire climate of how you can grow a business and develop a business in that jurisdiction. Canada's got a lot to offer. Skilled workforce, a highly educated workforce, great social services, great programs like healthcare. We're going to expand that with Medicare. Expand Medicare with pharmacare coverage. So I think there's a lot to offer in Canada. We're also offering very moderate increases. The wealth tax that we're proposing is on those who have fortunes over $20 million, and it's only 1% on the wealth over $20 million. We think that people at the very top can afford to contribute a little bit more to help building a better society, and we're confident people will stay here because Canada is a beautiful place to live.
Jagmeet Singh, thank you so much for being here. We know that there's this rollout. There's a lot of information in it. We've only scratched the surface, so we hope that over the course of the election campaign, you'll come back and share your thoughts with us.
We'd love to.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks.